Davey viewers, the Colonel speaking to you live from the Grange, British Imperial YouTube Broadcasting. Now, I've been reading some rather amusing comments that I apparently live in some sort of cluttered shop. Well, have a look, viewers. There you go, storming of the Bastille, 1789. There's old King James up there, and there's Sir Thomas More there, and King James again there, and Carolus Primus there, and other sorts of things. This is not a shop. I actually live in this awful mess. Yeah, I know you can't believe it's like a 1980s antique shop from some sort of horror film, but it's not a shop. I actually live like this. And in fact, what you can't see is far worse. I inherited a lot of stuff, well, I bought a lot of stuff over the years, and I inherited an awful lot more, and I made the big mistake that people who inherit things often do, in that I thought, I'll keep everything. You know, it's an insult not to, but what, 6 years later, it's an absolute menace. It really is. You can't live someone else's life. So I flogged most of it off, apart from the fact it wasn't worth quite as much as I assumed. But there you go. But why do I put wax on records? There's a record, Phonotopia, nice condition. There's some wax. Oh my God, people say, you've got wax on that record. Well, so what? This is what these things are for. Now, obviously, I can't put you down and show you how it's done, but using one of these things, that's an EMG version, that just gets the dust out. Although you could, because it looks suspiciously like a small boot brush, because it is a small boot brush with an EMG or you know, impressed trademark it on the top, but it is a boot brush. These things use velvet, and that is what they're for. They're for getting the wax out. Once I've played a record like this, I need to just polish the record off again, and the wax is gone. It does no harm whatever, but does help preserve the grooves from the steel needle. I only use a steel needle on my recordings because you wouldn't hear them otherwise. Or you would hear some of them, but records, as most collectors will realise, are a variable tone. Usually okay, but some are rather poorly and thinly recorded, so you need to enhance the tone, even with an expert or EMG, so that, you know, for recording purposes you can actually hear it. Fibre needles are usually quiet. I use IM Point Master needles, which are very good, but they are quieter, and you get less definition to the recordings if you're doing a recording. When you're not here and I'm not recording, I always use fibre needles, because I don't need to sort of be blasted through the wall by the enormous amount of sound that an EMG or expert will produce. So I sit here and I play all of my records with fibre needles. I will only ever play them once for a recording with steel. So there we are. I hope that explains a few things. Thank you, viewers, and goodbye.